King Junior Meal, 8 toys in all while supplies last.
Burger King, this is your way.
The Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Insurance Center, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. And Kirk Market. Experience a world of choice.
And now, Radio Cayman presents The Buzz, an insightful and fresh take on a variety of issues that impact the local environment. This is where we address the topics that matter. Here's your host, Kathy Miller.
Good morning, Cayman, and a special good morning to New York Knicks fans and New York Knicks fans only. Yes, that's right, because it's going to be Knicks in 5 now. If you watched that NBA series final last night, I think that was game 4, which, we wish the Knicks won 2 nights ago, but that's okay because they got game 3 in last night. Big congrats to them. Again, I have no skin in the game. This is the first of any NBA games I've been watching all season, but I love New York and I'm just so happy. I think it's 27 years they haven't been to the finals, so something like this we want to see. I'm happy for the city and what they're gaining. So right now, the series is 3 for the New York Knicks, 1 win for the San Antonio Spurs, and in just a few nights, they're going to be playing 2 more. Well, hopefully it's just 1 game because hopefully the Knicks take the next game in San Antonio, but that's where they're traveling next. So depending how it goes, the next 2 games are in San Antonio, and the final game, if it comes to that, would be back in New York. So anyways, that's what's going on with the NBA Finals. Very, very happy to announce that this morning. It was absolutely an amazing game last night. They were down by, I think it was 30 or 31 points that I saw at the craziest deficit, and somehow the New York Knicks came back, and that was the biggest comeback in NBA Finals history. So congrats to the New York Knicks. What a great way to almost start the weekend. It is Friday Eve, and we are dancing into the weekend and into today with my guests this morning. So we're stepping into some color, movement, and pure Caymanian artistry. The Cayman Islands National Dance Company is celebrating 38 years of storytelling through dance and their newest production, MOSAIC, which is ready to light up the Harquail stage. Joining me this morning to break everything down is Miss Jessica Eden. She's the artistic director and founding member and choreographer. And Miss Patrice Eze Oaxaca. She's the founding member and in charge of the social media for Cayman Islands National Dance Company. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good. Excellent. No problem. Thank you for coming this morning. I know it's a little early, so we'll just get into it. So 38 years is a long time. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How do you keep it going after 38 years?
Wow. We have a love for dance that started very early with Miss Reed, and I think everybody knows Miss Reed from middle school, from high school, and she started with a group of 11 of us. We were just getting together just to dance and exercise and have fun, and then she made the shift to turn us into a company, a performing company, and that has been the story of our lives. Of every Friday night, Saturday night, late night rehearsals we were only 5, so 38, that makes us only, just slightly over 4 decades old, right, Jessica? Right?
Yes.
Say yes.
Just slightly under.
Yeah. Slightly under. There you go. There you go.
Yes.
No, it's been fantastic. So,
okay. What has been, for both of you, what has been your history with dance? Just so I get a little bit of background.
Well, for me, I started dance as an after-school activity following my sister, because I have an older sister, and you tend to follow this older sibling.
Yeah.
So that's how I got into dance, and I have just been there ever since. When I started with the National Dance Company, we were called Dance Unlimited at the time. Started as a student and have learned the different area of the company and have grown from there. So
okay, that's nice. What about you, Patrice?
For myself, it was also an after-school dance program, and that's actually where I met Miss Reed. I think we were both very young. We won't say how old we were, both incredibly young, and I think she has a talent for seeing the beauty and the artistry in every dancer. And her mission, her motto is every person can dance. But she seeks out the people who have like a special something, and she helps them to grow. And she has helped both of us to grow. Mm-hmm. She threw us challenges very early. Like we started choreographing from in our teens, I think.
Yes.
So
started teaching from in our teens.
Started teaching from in our teens as well too, and I think that foundation has made us stay in this craft, in this artistry, in this discipline for so long.
That's beautiful. I love dance. It wasn't an after-school program for me. It was more I wanted to just be a dancer. Oh. I wanted to be one of Janet Jackson's dancers.
Ooh,
remember the Rhythm Nation era? Yeah, that was.
Yes.
That was absolutely incredible to me, and I loved dance.
That's a fantastic piece of choreographic and musical work.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I remember my dance instructor saying, if you want to get better and you want to be the best that you can be, you have to take ballet. And I was not a girl that was into ballet, but I will tell you, as soon as I started, I fell in love with ballet, and I love it still to this day. I wish there was adult ballet classes. I haven't seen any lately. There used to be one place that offered it, but I loved dropping in. It doesn't happen anymore. I miss it. So I don't know if I'm just putting that out. I'm just putting that hint out there. Yes, but that also gave me a huge appreciation of classical music and just a different, very graceful way of moving your body. Although a lot of friends will be like, "I can't tell you ever did ballet," and I'm like, I don't know what that's supposed to mean particularly. I don't always stand up straight and. Have the posture, but absolutely love ballet.
But it never leaves you, though.
No, never.
You hear some of the music that you started with in classes, the adagio, the movements across the floor, and you instantly, it's like your body just responds right away. Mm-hmm. It's more than just muscle memory. It's heart and soul memory, as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it brings you back to a place.
Yes.
It absolutely does. And if I can say as a woman in my 40s that I would love to do ballet still, yes, that means it's definitely has a place in my heart.
Yeah, of course.
So let's talk about MOSAIC, which is the newest production. Talk about the inspiration behind it, the vision behind it.
I think I'll let Jessica do that one.
So coming near to the end of each show, I start preparing for the next year. I have a couple of ideas in my head, and this year what I did, I presented the ideas to the choreographers and asked them to pick which one kind of resonated best with them. And from there, I built on it. So it was built on and give them just like a kind of just a foundation to work with. Mm-hmm. And then the choreographers flew with it. They added their perspective onto it. So we looked at it in the sense of, as a mosaic, when you're doing art, is the little pieces that come in together to create one united piece. Because that shows its strength. And that's basically what we did with the dances. Each dance linked through movement to create a whole picture, just in the sense of appreciation of movement from the different genres. So we touch as many genres as possible with different forms of music. Yes. So it was music and movement working together to create a piece of art in the sense of dance.
Okay, I like that. Mm-hmm. And I like how you compared it to what we know with mosaics and art. Mm-hmm. So oftentimes it's taking like little kind of broken bits of whatever to create the mosaic that you're creating. And I always think of like just kind of the glass mosaics that you see. Yes. I look at that all the time, and I'm just so stunned by the beauty when it all comes together and you see how everything can interact together from the broken pieces to full pieces, but how everything comes together. And that's just a analogy to life. Yes. I think. So I see how it translates into how you wanted to put this concept together with your newest production.
Yeah. And for me, being in that meeting when she presented the ideas and shifting back to the entire year, because this was done in September, so this is almost 9-10 months of preparation and rehearsals and sacrifice and training. But for me, I think of the analogy that you just introduced, broken pieces of glasses. Each piece is beautiful within its right. Each piece combined with others creates something even more beautiful and even more imaginative and creative. And that's what we are going to showcase to our audiences this weekend. We urge you to get your tickets early. This year, I think the dancers have stretched themselves in their creative ideas, their use of music. And that's one of the things I've always loved about our company. Whatever music we choose, I don't know if this is like in our mind, we suddenly start hearing it more on the radio. So I'm hoping that we can throw a few more in there this year.
Susan's ears perked up, by the way.
Yes,
when
yes.
she
We'll
heard
give you the
that.
full list afterwards, Susan.
Okay, so the way you said it's all different genres of dance. Can you give us an idea of the different genres that are involved?
Sure. We've got contemporary, we've got spoken word, we've got hip hop, we've got lyrical, and when people think of contemporary dance, they think abstract music, but contemporary dance can mean such a wide spectrum of things. Contemporary dance is sort of like an offshoot of modern dance, and modern dance was sort of the rebellion to ballet because they didn't want the rigid lines, even though those rigid lines are what make ballet beautiful and fantastic. And just talking about the sense memory that you have of doing ballet and hearing that music. So we have touched on as many different genres as they are possible. There's traditional folk, there's drumming, there's jazz, there's hip hop, Latin. So we've got something for everybody.
So even the musical elements that you're coming in, is it live drumming?
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
That's okay.
We're hoping to get there. Yes.
Okay, that would be kind of cool. All right. That another
Yes.
another vision that might come to fruition right there.
Yes, that is.
So I'm kind of envisioning it because of the theme, MOSAIC. So I'm envisioning it in a sense where we're going to see maybe tell me if I'm wrong, but we're going to see some dancers coming out in one style, and they might be intertwined with another group that's going to come out in there. Am I along the right line?
Along the right line, yes, you are.
Okay,
Very
cool.
hot. Very hot.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. I like that. That's going to be very beautiful.
It is.
Okay, so you said about 9 months of rehearsal and everything else?
Yes.
So what's the rehearsal time? What does that look like? How many days a week? How many hours? What do you expect from your students?
Rehearsals are Monday to Thursday from 7 to 9. And as we get closer to show day, it increases. We include Saturday and Sundays, just because some pieces need to be partnered with other group because they've done in isolation. So then we need to bring everything together and see how it link. And also just so that the dancers could get an idea of what they're looking at. And we spend moments of critiquing ourselves so they are aware of what they need to do to improve once on stage, because it's a learning process.
Yes.
We believe we might be good today, but we can always get better. We want to grow ourselves. So in order to do that, the dancers also learn how to critique each other in a positive way so we can move forward.
Yes, absolutely. So Jessica, you're one of the choreographers, or you're a choreographer.
Yes, I am.
Are you a choreographer for this production?
Yes, I am.
Is there a team of you? Or is
There
it
is a team of us. And along with challenging our dancers, I also challenged the choreographers this year. Usually we create our own pieces, but this year they partnered with different choreographers to create some of the creations.
Yes.
So it's a little tricky doing that, but I have to say they definitely stepped up to their plate.
Yes.
And they presented it nicely.
Yeah.
They had to meet and discuss what they're thinking and link it together and find music to match it, because each dance has a storyline in itself. So yeah.
But it weaves.
Yeah, and then this time, one of the other challenge was that your dance needs to be kind of hitting a 10-minute mark. So in the past, we would have done like a 3 to 5 minute, which is the length of a song.
Yeah.
But this time it was like, okay, give me a 10-minute piece.
I don't
So
know.
it's close.
I don't remember dancers being 10 minutes long at all. Is this a new thing?
It's not a new thing for us because we have some pieces that lengths that can go as far as half an hour.
Wow.
To create just one story. But this time they have little pockets. So just in order for us to create a ballet that has a full storyline,
Yes.
we need to work on our length of pieces. And it's also good for the endurance for the dancers. it keeps them on their feet.
Clearly, no pun intended. Yes, clearly. We got to go to a quick commercial break right now. When we come back, we're going to get into more details about the 38th production from the Cayman Islands National Dance Company called MOSAIC.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
We have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center.
Specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
Attention Cayman Brac business community. The Cayman Islands Center for Business Development, CICBD, Business Community Outreach, is today, Thursday, the 11th of June, from 11 a.m. until 6 p.m. Book your session for the team to meet you at your business place or at the District Administration Building. Visit cicbd.gov.ky or you can email cicbd@gov.ky or call 929-5073. Book now with CICBD to get personalized, practical advice for your business, connect with ongoing CICBD support programs, and explore opportunities for growth and development.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Welcome back to The Buzz. We are talking about the 38th production from the Cayman Islands National Dance Company. It's called MOSAIC. It is taking place this weekend, June 13th and 14th at the Harquail Theatre, starting at 7 p.m. on June 13th and on June 14th at 4 p.m. Where can we get tickets, ladies?
Funky Tangs, Winner's Circle, Audiophile Group, at the Radiance Dance Studio when classes are in session. We've also got all of our dancers have tickets. So if you have your favorite dancer, call them up and say, hey, I need my ticket. And you can also do that by calling 926-1826, which is our box office theater manager who is going to charge me for giving out her number. But I'll pay the bill. So it's 926-1826.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. And the ticket prices?
There are $30 for adults, $15 for children, prepaid. If you buy them at the gate, they're slightly higher, but not too much more because we want to make sure it's affordable for families.
Right, and that's an affordable ticket for sure. How long is the production?
Oh, it's 2 hours long.
2 hours, which is also a good time.
Yes, yes.
And now I think you said it's a requirement for the pieces to be 10 minutes long. Is of the dance pieces, that all the dance pieces, they have to reach 10 minutes? Like, is there a varying time length?
There's a varying time length.
Okay.
Yeah, so 10 minutes is the average point. So you have some that's either a little bit less or a little bit over.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And I think one point that I wanted to make or really ask about was, you know how you're bringing choreographers together to work on a piece, which makes sense to me because if somebody has or is great with one style of dance and another choreographer is great at another, but they know they have to come together in a certain piece, I think it just makes the transition, how movements can be a little bit more fluid, one movement into the next, or a change of what that scene might be on stage. It might make a little bit more sense with other choreographers coming in for a certain piece, right? Because it's a fusion, it's a blend of different styles.
It is.
And I know I wouldn't be able to choreograph a ballet style, for example. I like it, but I can't choreograph it.
And I'm going to challenge you. I think you can. I think you pay attention in ballet, which I know you're a good student, and you draw from the vocabulary I have. And that's how we started. We didn't know that many moves, but we used what we had. And when you're working with dancers, that's the great thing. If you allow them to interpret, first of all, you give them the movement, you ask them to do it the way you want it to be done, but then you allow them to sort of put themselves into it. You create even more movement. You find ways to change the order. Choreographic tools are not as far from people's reach as they imagine. So there's ways to be creative with it.
I like that. I like how you say
It's
that.
a matter of asking everyone to step out of the box.
Yeah.
Because there's no right or no wrong.
Exactly.
It's about self-expression.
Yes, that's what dance is to me, very much so. Is there any signature pieces, any standout pieces in this production that you
mine,
love?
but I'm going to let her
Okay, let's hear them.
tell me.
We brought back, each year we try to bring back some of our old repertoire. And this year we brought back 2 pieces from 1990, which would be our second show that we did.
Yep.
And they are part of the opening dance.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Do you think anybody's going to recognize from 1990?
I think some people will recognize the dance.
Awesome. I love that.
Yeah, we've got people in our audiences who have been coming to us. They've watched us grow up on stage,
Yes, they have.
basically. So they come back because they enjoy what we offer, and they're. I think we try to cater to everyone who attends, but those are the people. If we can get their seal of approval, I know we're gold.
Yes, I understand that. The supporters, the returning supporters, for
Yes,
sure.
exactly.
What about you? What is your favorite piece out there, Patrice?
Well, the piece that she mentioned, I like that one as well too. One, I remember it. But it took a while because, of course, it's been 1990 from now. It's been a long time, and there are some new choreographers, like dancers who are choreographing for the first time.
Yes.
And I honestly have to say that I'm truly, truly bowled over by what they brought from the music, and that's the great thing about dance. You can have movement, you can have music, but it's how you meld those two together to create something that is incredible and beautiful. It's fantastic. So
It's
please
art.
get your tickets. Get your tickets. Get your tickets.
It's very much art.
Very much so.
Absolutely.
Very much so.
When we touched on the dancers a little bit there, or you just did just now, so is there any kind of standout dancers or dancers that you think you could see them carrying the torch really forward with the Cayman Islands National Dance Company?
Oh gosh.
Yes, we do. We have many of them. And I have to say, it really is fulfilling to see the dancers grow.
Yes.
And see them challenge themselves, see them blossom, see them willing to say, okay, yeah, I'll give it a shot. I could do this. And just to see when the confidence start to grow. That's one thing that's very fulfilling for me with the dancers. We have a set of apprentice dancers, and the reason we call them apprentices is because they are part of Radiance Dance Studio senior performers, and the whole idea is to prepare them to go into a company. And there are
9.
There are 9 of them, but there are like 2 or 3 of them in particular who have been with Radiance from the very start. I have seen them grow. I have seen them question a lot of stuff, which is always good. So they're curious. I have seen them say, okay, yeah, we got this. And have actually put it upon themselves to help others.
Yeah.
So that in itself is, okay, that's the future.
Yeah.
They're ready to take that next step. And each year, they're given different challenges, different steps to continue with their growth. And I say we have a lot of promising artists there.
Yes.
Choreographers, dancers, dance critique, costume designers, music editors. Is all there.
Yeah. I think you said there was a phrase, and I might say it wrong, but you're preparing them to go to a company.
Yes.
Can you explain what you mean by that? I understand it's a dance company, but for our listeners out there, can you? And what what happens when they get to a dance company? What does this mean?
So right now they're part of Radiance Dance Studio, which is a dance school for children. And once you're in a company, it's a different level. You need to show a little more independence. You have to be willing to take critiques as they come, but not take them personally. Use them as a growing tool. Cayman is just a starting stone for us.
Yes.
They're still young. So from here, it's off to university. It's out to the big world. So they need to be equipped with all the foundation to make them succeed. Once they're in university, if they decide to go off to do academic studies or if they decide to go off and study dance, they are ready. Yes. Our dancers are ready for that. Yep. We have at the moment 2 dancers who are at school. One is studying dance, and the next one, she's studying business, I believe, if I remember correctly, but she's also doing dance on the side. And she had just entered a dance competition. They won.
Awesome.
So that's... those are successful markers there for them.
Yeah. I love dance, and as I said, I wanted to be a backup dancer for Janet Jackson, right? So I understand career trajectories with dance per se, but a lot of people might not. So, some people might think, oh, it's just a waste of time, or it's just for girls, or it's just supposed to make... help teach a young lady how to grow up. And again, it's not just for girls at all.
No, please.
So in that sense, when it comes to some people may be like, you're not going to make a living out of this. You have to have a quote, serious career behind you, right? What kind of a career can dancers have?
Oh, gosh.
And what have we seen out of the Cayman Islands?
Yes. You want to tackle that one or
You go ahead.
Okay. I have personally seen dancers grow not just in a dance company as choreographers, creating their own companies. There's all the business of dance. There's the marketing, there's the costuming, there's the music production, there is the administration. So dance as a career is not limited to just moving on stage. You've got all the ancillary parts that needs someone who understands the work, the artistry, but can also maneuver in the business aspect. So the career, I think we need to do more in the ways of encouraging people to drive what loves them into something that they can do so that they don't feel like they're working.
Yes, I agree.
That's the whole point.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
That's the whole point. And just for myself, dance has equipped me with discipline. It has equipped me with drive. The stick-to-itiveness, if you want to call it perseverance. These are all life lessons I've learned in all the many years. And I think we can speak to seeing that in our dancers. They become entrepreneurs, whether they go on to become cheerleaders in their university university teams, whether they go to their company dances in other universities. So there is so much more, and we need to widen our thinking as to what the artistry, the craft, and the discipline of dance offers.
Beautifully said, Patrice. Absolutely agree with you. You were very passionate about that.
Yes, I am.
100%. All right, we only got a couple minutes left, so if there's any sponsors and supporters that you want to mention and thank.
Of course. Just to remind people that tickets are available. Even if you don't remember all the ticket outlets, please call 926-1826. Dance and the business of dance takes a tremendous amount of sacrifice and funding. So we want to thank our sponsors who make it easier for us to focus on the artistry and to take care of the expenses. And that is ARC Directors, Ingenue Marketing, and the Audiophile Group. We thank you for your belief and strength and funding us to be able to do what we do and do what we love.
I feel like you need more support too.
We absolutely do. Yeah. So we'll be calling on a few people.
Excellent. Because when Jessica described 10 months or 9 months so far of rehearsals, right? And it was Monday to Thursday, and that's in the beginning. Monday to Thursday, 7 to 9 for your rehearsals. And then, there's a daytime stuff that you have to do too. So I'm just talking about nighttime, your rehearsals with the actual dancers. Yes. And then it gets into about 6 days a week closer to the show. So there's so much time and effort put into this. And, I know there's a lot of corporate people that listen. And dance is a part of art.
Yes.
And
it's a great way to give back to the community.
Yes. It's a very great artistic expression. It keeps people out of a bad business per se. You know, it keeps people in a good hobby, and it can be something that's with you lifelong. So I think it's a great cultural investment to get behind. So you have 1 minute left if you want to share any other message with our listeners.
Okay, all right. I guess she's throwing me into the fire pit.
I'll leave Patricia do a lot.
That's no problem. Just want to talk about how MOSAIC is not just the individual beauty of the pieces of beauty of the individual pieces and the beauty that is created when those pieces come together. But it's, for me personally, and I don't know if she intended this, for me it's a celebration of our legacy. The many different performances. We've had 37 performances up until now, and that's just seasons. That's not including the performances that we do outside of our regular performances. And MOSAIC is celebrating our history. We are approaching 40 years, so we want to start celebrating now.
Okay, and now's the time. So this weekend is the time to get on it.
This is the time.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining me. It's a reminder to our listeners out there, the 38th season of Dance, the MOSAIC production put on by the Cayman Islands National Dance Company, is happening this weekend at the Harcourt Theatre, June 13th at 7 p.m., June 14th at 5 p.m. You can get tickets at the gate. It'll be a little bit more expensive, or you can get them at Audiophile, Radiant Dance Studio, a couple more places you
Funky
mentioned.
Tangs, Winter Circle.
Okay, awesome. That's where you got to be there this weekend and check it out.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ladies, for joining me. We're going to go to the 8 a.m. news, and right after that, I'm going to have the RCIPS on with me. We're going to be talking a little bit about the wrap-up and the recruitment, and the commissioner is going to be giving us an update. I believe he's with us this morning as well. All right, so we'll be back with you at 8:15.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. A man faces 5 counts of indecent assault and 1 count of breach of trust. The allegations relate to incidents said to have occurred in October 2023 involving a child. To protect the identity of the complainant, no identifying details are being reported. The man denies the charge. Prosecutors allege he assaulted the girl when she was 14 and 15 years old during a period in which he was in a position of trust. The courts heard that the alleged assaults took place on multiple occasions. The girl, who is now older, is expected to give evidence at the trial. The man remains on bail.
Pertussis is a vaccine-preventable disease.
Government says fresh cases of pertussis, also known as whooping cough, show the disease is still spreading locally and, quote, continued preventative measures are needed to reduce the risk of further spread. The Ministry of Health is encouraging you to follow public health guidance and ensure you and your family's vaccinations are up to date. Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Samuel Williams Rodriguez.
We encourage members of the public to remain alert for symptoms and to seek medical advice promptly when symptoms consistent with pertussis develop, especially if they have been in close contact with a confirmed case. We also encourage the public to take advantage of available vaccination opportunities where eligible. Continuous surveillance, case follow-up, targeted intervention, and community engagement remain central to reducing transmission and protecting those most at risk of severe disease.
Government is working with healthcare providers, schools, and community partners to monitor disease activity, support case management and contact follow-up, promote vaccination, strengthen public awareness, and ensure that appropriate measures remain in place to respond to any changes in the situation. There is an extra clinic set up for this Saturday at the Public Health Department Clinic Smith Road Center from 9 a.m. to 1. These clinics are particularly intended for adolescents around the age of 14 who may be due for their routine DPAP booster. The Mosquito Research and Control Unit is responding to the season's first major mosquito emergence with widespread aerial and ground operations across Grand Cayman. MRCU Director Dr. Alan Wheeler.
Really, this is an annual event. It's the start of the rainy season. It's something that we saw coming and we've made preparations for it. Once the rains come, mosquitoes, this particular species, Aedes taeniorhynchus, will come out in high numbers at the start of the rainy season.
He says weather has limited aircraft treatments in recent days.
It's affected by both rainfall and tides. This year, rain and tides are both high at the same time. So we've had high tides for the last 2 to 3 weeks, and now this is further being compounded by the heavy rain we're seeing.
The unit said North Side, East End, and parts of central Grand Cayman are seeing the highest mosquito numbers. Ground fogging continues when conditions allow, and surveillance is ongoing across all 3 islands. Now with a check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast. I'm Kersley Fuller.
BBC News with Moira Alderson. The British Defence Secretary has resigned, citing disagreements with the Prime Minister over military spending. In an open letter, John Healey accused Keir Starmer of failing to commit the resources needed to protect Britain against the rising threat from Russia. The United Nations says the number of people who've been forcibly displaced by conflict and persecution fell last year for the first time in a decade. But the UN's refugee agency warned that many have returned to often unsafe and unstable conditions. Speaking in the Canary Islands, Pope Leo has urged world leaders to treat migrants more humanely and warned against indifference to their plight. The Pope cast flowers into the sea in memory of those who died, making the dangerous crossing from Africa to the Spanish Atlantic territory. The US military has struck another commercial tanker in the Strait of Hormuz, accusing it of violating its blockade of Iranian ports. It's the third ship to be targeted by American missiles this week. All had Indian crews. On Wednesday, 3 Indian seafarers were killed when their vessel was hit off the coast of Oman. Lebanon's leaders have thanked Saudi Arabia for ending a 5-year ban on Lebanese imports. Before it was imposed, the kingdom had been the biggest destination for Lebanese agricultural products. Sweden has dropped plans to lower the age of criminal responsibility to 13. The Justice Minister said there was not enough support in Parliament for the measure, which he had argued was needed to stop children being recruited into gangs. That's the latest world news from the BBC.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Craving something bold, juicy, and packed with flavor? Introducing KFC's new crispy barbecue sandwich served on a soft, buttery brioche bun. That's 100% KFC premium chicken breast, perfectly crispy, deliciously smoky with crispy onions, cheddar cheese, and barbecue sauce. Just the right amount of messy in the best way possible. Stacked with layers of bold KFC flavor, this sandwich is your new obsession. But hurry, it's only at KFC for a limited time. So what are you waiting for? Get yours today at any of the 3 KFC locations on island. KFC, finger licking good, just got bolder.
For 50 years, Radio Cayman has been the steady voice at the center of our islands. In every hurricane, every moment of uncertainty, it's the station we turn to for calm, clear, reliable information. So many of our musicians had their very first airplay right here, and our local sound continues to grow because Radio Cayman gives it a home. And of course, the talk shows, the heartbeat of our community. For many Caymanians, this has been the only place to share concerns, ask questions, and feel truly heard. None of this would be possible, of course, without the dedicated staff who have served this station for decades. Here's to 50 years of service and to many more years of being the voice of the Cayman Islands. I am Lorna Bush.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
Pleasant good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Current temperature is 85 degrees. Relative humidity is 80%. The barometric pressure is 29.93 inches and falling. The wind is east-southeast at 8 knots. Overnight low temperature was 81 degrees. Synopses indicate moderate southeasterly winds and seas expected to continue across the Cayman area for the next couple of days. Available moisture present in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere will support the presence of cloudy skies. Satellite imagery show numerous multi-layered clouds drifting across the northwest Caribbean. Now the forecast for today calling for partly cloudy to cloudy skies with a 30% chance of isolated showers, and temperatures will rise to the upper 80s. Winds, it's southeast at 10 to 15 knots with higher gusts, and seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. Pretty much the same for tonight, partly cloudy to cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers, and temperatures falling to the low 80s tonight. Your winds will be southeast at 10 to 15 knots, and seas will be moderate with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet as well. Low tide will occur this afternoon at 12:38, high tide tonight at 7:35. The sun will set this evening at 2 minutes past 7 and will rise tomorrow morning at 5:48. And the outlook is calling for an increase in shower activity for Saturday as a tropical wave drifts across the northwest Caribbean. And that's the very latest on your weather report.
Hey folks, thanks for your patience. We'll be taking off very shortly. Should be wheels up in about 40 minutes. And due to a bumpy ride, snacks and beverage service has been suspended. AC is giving us some trouble. Sorry folks. And Wi-Fi is out. And so is the entertainment. Yeah, I'm sorry about the smell, folks. We are aware.
I know.
Just one more quick note. We are going to have to deplane.
Come on!
We're like the plane ride that isn't a nightmare. CG Britgay. Good like that.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britgay, where people come first.
The Lions Club of Grand Cayman is proud to continue to serve our island community. The club continues to host successful community projects like the Prostate and Colon Cancer Awareness Campaign, free site screening in schools, spelling bee, swim meets, and their community pantry. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman looks forward to continuing their service for many years to come. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman, where there's a need, there's a lion, serving the community for over 50 years.
Radio Cayman Super Jam Show, the #1 drive time entertainment show on your radio.
Brought to you by these kind sponsors.
The Cayman Islands Football Association, CIFA, building a better future for Cayman football.
Cayman Insurance Center.
Don't take chances with your family's future or your valuable assets. Call me today, Michael Webster, at 925-5433.
UWI Open Campus, on-site, online, and on demand.
Visit open.uwi.edu. Call them today at 946-8322.
And Coca-Cola, from generation to generation, still a Cayman classic.
The #1 drive time entertainment show on your radio.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Top of the morning, let's check in with traffic, see what's slowing, what's flowing. Coming from the east, on Shamrock Road and Rex Crichton Boulevard, traffic is flowing at a moderate pace. Further down, as you approach the Linford Pearson Highway, traffic moving at a steady pace, but flowing. And coming off of Bobby Thompson Way, moderate flow of traffic, as well as Agnes Way. Crew Road is flowing moderately. Huldah Avenue, a little steady, but flowing traffic, nothing to worry about too much. Godfrey Nixon Way and Easton Avenue, flowing pretty good in both directions. North Sound Road as well. And coming off of the Essler Tibbetts Highway, a little steady traffic, but nothing to worry about too much. And if you see the accidents, let us know by calling us at 949-6990. Turning our attention to the West Bay area. West Bay four-way stop, flowing pretty good. On the West Bay Road in front of the Ritz, traffic is moving at a moderate pace in both directions. That's the very latest on your traffic. Join us again at about 10 minutes past 12. We'll give you another look at traffic. Have a good morning and drive safe.
Start your year off right with Subway's Fresh Fit menu. 4 protein-packed subs with 20 grams or more of protein, under 500 calories, and loaded with full servings of crisp veggies on hearty multi-grain bread. Try the grilled chicken and avocado, the ham and turkey stacker, the seasoned steak and avocado, or the turkey and ranch delight. Big flavor, plenty of protein, and fresh veggies in every bite. Fuel your day the Fresh Fit way. Only at Subway. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
For the Health of It, heard on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. and repeated on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. is brought to you by The Light Room. Tired of being unwell and struggling to find the energy and vitality to live the life you desire? Come get recharged from the inside out at The Light Room. Our non-invasive, holistic energy enhancement system detoxifies and energizes the body, enabling self-healing and balance. Book online at www.thelightroom.ky or call 938-HEAL, 38 Pasadora Place, GT.
Looking for an unforgettable night of dance and entertainment? Join the Cayman Islands National Dance Company for MOSAIC, our 38th season, June 13th at 7 p.m. and 14th at 5 p.m. at the Harkwell Theatre. Experience a vibrant celebration of culture, creativity, and storytelling through dance. Tickets are $30 for adults, $15 for children. Get your tickets today at Radiance Dance Studio, Audiophile Group, Winner's Circle, Funky Tangs, or call 926-1826. MOSAIC is proudly sponsored by the Audiophile Group, Ingenue Marketing, and ARC Directors. Don't miss it! June 13th and 14th, Harkwell Theatre.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Good morning. Welcome back to The Buzz. I'm your host, Kathy Miller. And on this segment of the show, I'm happy to welcome from the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service, we have Commissioner Kurt Walton and we have Chief Inspector Wade Chase. Good morning, gentlemen. How are you doing today?
Good morning. Good morning, Kathy, and good morning to the listening audience.
It's good to have you back. I know, Inspector, you were here, you said just a couple months ago.
Yeah.
You had to refresh my memory right there. But it was because you were dressed a little differently. So, you know, today you're in uniform. And Commissioner, it's been maybe about a year, so I'm very happy to have you back as well on the show.
It's good to be here.
Yes. So we're going to be talking a little bit of update on the recent crimes that have been happening in the Cayman Islands, as well as the community meetings, Commissioner, that you've been holding, and then a wrap up on the recruitment drive, which is very important for the Cayman Islands. Yes. Okay. So we'll talk about... At first, we'll talk about the recent crime statistics that are out there, I guess. I've been seeing some headlines, especially as it relates to robberies and the food trucks and whatnot. So can you paint a bit of a picture of what the public safety is right now in the Cayman Islands?
Well, you mentioned robberies. So as it currently stands, we've had, as of today, 25 robberies since the beginning of the year. And that is very similar to where we were last year. I suppose a bit of positivity there is that we've made 28 arrests of which would really was 22 individuals arrested, but of the 28 arrests. So what that means is that 4 of those 28 arrests, those 4 individuals would have been arrested more than once. So in some cases, we would have had individuals arrested for 2 times, and in another case, 3 times. But if you, certainly I'm sure you've been keeping update with the whether it's the Compass in a way or other media houses, you will see that a number of persons have actually appeared before the court, and quick actions of our officers made arrests, and we've gotten charges preferred and before the court. So we've had some really good results there as well. So the challenge there always for us, we're about 29-30% detection on our robberies. The challenge there for us, as I mentioned, where you may have had an individual or individuals involved in, say, more than one robbery. However, you may not at this point be able to charge them for that series of robberies, but we were able to get them for 1 or 2 robberies. Mm-hmm. But the key there is the outcome, that group or individual has been removed from the streets.
Yes.
So, without, I suppose, disclosing the name of individuals, but I can think of an individual, for instance, we know committed at least, based on our intelligence, 3 or 4 robberies. But that individual is currently now charged in that Norfolk prison, charged with two robberies. Mm-hmm. So, whereas we may not solve all 25, we may solve 30%. But the bit there for me is the outcome that we've got these individuals who have been removed from the streets, who have committed more than 1 robbery, and they are now in Norfolk prison.
It's great. And I can tell you, as somebody who lives in an area that was getting hit almost every night for about 3 months in our neighborhood, not my complex, every night somebody was coming in the other complexes. That person hasn't been on the streets in just over a year. And I cannot explain to you the peace that we all have. Everybody can go to sleep. People's bikes and everything aren't getting stolen. The cars aren't being broken into. The homes aren't being broken into. And just from one person alone, that got arrested and taken off the streets, and we're very happy about that. So
it goes back to the point I mentioned there
Safety.
that you have that one individual that could be creating a lot of problems in terms of multiple offenses. Evidence-wise, we may only be able to prove 1, 2, or 3 of those.
Right.
But the outcome is that that individual is no longer creating that problem in that community. So, and that's the important bit for us, is the outcome. We've removed that threat from the community, and now that individual is currently at Norfolk Prison.
All right, I want to know how much technology might be helping you out a little bit right now, because there's been incidents where CCTV has definitely helped. I think it's been about 5 of earlier cluster of armed robberies where CCTV has definitely helped. So can you walk us through how technology is assisting you in solving some of these crimes?
Well, I'm sure the Chief Inspector here will attest to this, and every other, certainly the senior command team and the commanders, but I'm big on technology and forensics. And I've said from the onset of my tenure that I was going to drive technology and forensics. I think that is the way to go with solving crime. Having had, not the benefit when I was doing investigations, but having had, I suppose, come into that era where technology was assisting. So I'll give you an example. CCTV has been for us a phenomenal piece of, a phenomenal tool to help with our investigations. So much so that I have invested in officers being sent overseas to Canada to enhance their video analytics. So the Royal Mounted Police Force has specialized skills training in this area. So we've invested significantly in those officers. Within our organization, we have a special unit that focus primarily on CCTV, usually post-event. This is within our detectives or the CID. And that has really been a phenomenal piece of tool for us. And for me, it has been, I know when it was first started a few years ago, there were discussions around it, but all I can say for, Director Vasquez and his team over at DPSC, really, the more CCTV that we have in our islands, I think that goes well for public safety. And the worry that members of the public have or had at the time about, the authorities watching people and what they do, that's not the case at all. Absolutely not the case. I have no interest in who's walking down the road or who's driving, but what it does, it makes our roads safer in the sense that if we have individuals that are using our roads for criminality, in this sense, using it to back and forth, whether in vehicles or bikes or whatever, then we can utilize that tool to help us with solving those crimes.
Right, you might see frequent patterns of activity.
Well, so the issue is, so it sounds simple, CCTV, but you ask any investigator, it's not a simple task. You're speaking of an individual who has to sit there now for countless hours. You're reviewing some cases 200, 300, 400 hours of CCTV. That is an individual or two spending an entire 2 weeks, 3 weeks, an entire month, and their full focus is basically going from camera to camera and trying to just to solve that particular case. But it's an important piece of work for us.
Okay. Now, on the tip of the CCTV, I understand that by July 31st, and this is news to me, so I don't know where my mind was, but that every frontline officer will be wearing a body camera?
So that's a separate issue. So that's as far as our officers wearing body-worn cameras. So I won't say them out because there's commercial reasons why I can't, but we've had to invest significantly. My view on it, again, it's about technology, modernization of the police service. It's one of our strategic priorities. But we've certainly, the complaints that come to me that I see daily or weekly, certainly whether it's from the Ombudsman Office, from reports, or whether it's from members of the public, generally speaking, it's around our officers and their actions and how they go about their duties. But what this, I think, will do is certainly, one, it will enable our officers to capture any evidence when they are in the middle of a situation, as well as it protects or holds them account in terms of their own actions. So you've got either the ombudsman or ourselves, we can review the work that, in a particular case, we can do dip samples to say, okay, how did we respond to a particular incident? And then we can learn from that as well.
Yeah.
So it can also act as a means of preventing an individual or individuals from, I suppose, committing an offense against an officer that they may have done before, because it's simple. Look, you're on camera.
Right.
You're being recorded. So that should, in my opinion, help prevent some of those certain assaults that we saw in 2025 on our officers.
How do you think the body cams will change maybe the way an ordinary individual will interact with the police?
Oh, the member of the public?
Yeah.
I think it's welcome by members of the public. I don't think there will be any issues there for us. For me, I think it should be a situation where a member of the public should feel comfortable that a police officer has a body-worn camera, and that if there's any debate in terms of what has taken place, they can actually say, look, I did not do what I'm being accused of, or this did not take, I'm telling you this is what had taken place at the time. You can go and check the officer's camera. So it should give them that level of trust and confidence that everything is actually being recorded.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
So the reality is that all of your modern police forces today have moved towards body-worn cameras, primarily because it's about accountability. We've said that our policing style, and this is one of the things I wrote into our strategic plan, will be when it's caring, collaborative, and accountable. So this is just, I suppose, fulfilling that commitment of accountability.
It's moving into, welcoming, embracing technology again. That's been there for a minute, and improving our police force, as you said, protecting the regular members of society, and also for those who are committing the crimes. It's also protecting the police and how they might be interacting with some of the criminals that are out there.
So it will certainly be a culture change for our officers, because these officers have never worn body-worn cameras before. I walked in here on purpose with my own personal protection equipment, whether it's my baton, my handcuffs, my radio, pepper spray. But essentially, the body-worn camera becomes a part of your personal protection equipment. So the culture shift now will be the officers need to know that, when you put on your normal protection equipment, on goes the body-worn camera. So we're writing the policy around that. There's a lot of training ongoing at the moment. We've had meetings, we've had discussions about how that's going to work, because reality is that you can't have the body-worn camera on for a full 10-hour shift or 12-hour shift.
Just going to ask that. Okay.
So it is. So it has to be that. At what point do you actually turn it on?
Yes.
Because not every contact requires the body-worn camera to be turned on. So, for instance, right now we're at the radio station having a discussion about policing. Do you think it's right for me to be turning my body-worn camera on?
I don't think you need it. We have cameras in here already recording.
But
yes, no, I don't think it's needed.
Right.
Yeah.
So
it's not a police matter that you've been called to, for example.
Yeah. So we want to ensure that within our policy, within our training, within our standing operating procedures, officers will know when they must switch on their body-worn camera.
Okay.
That's really key, and at what point.
Okay, excellent. All right, let us shift to the community meeting. Unless there's anything else about crime that you want the public to know, anything else about the recent crime going on?
No, I think certainly what I can say, obviously we've, the issue for us is continue around robberies to keep that as best as we can, keep that under control. We continue with that work there. We've had some good arrests with firearms. I've always said firearms is something that makes our island very it makes it dangerous when you've got individuals out there with firearms. We've had an arrest earlier in the week. I think you'd have seen that and released where an individual was arrested over the weekend or just prior to the weekend last week, put before the court. this is not breaking news yet, but we made another arrest and recovery of another farm, so you're getting it straight from the commissioner's mouth. But we will do a release today.
That is breaking news.
Yeah, it is breaking news. So good operation yesterday with the staff. Another individual arrested, another farm off our street. Right. So there's a lot happening in that area, and it is really, that work will continue. I think it's really dangerous to have farms out there on our streets in such a small community. So we will continue with that work.
Okay, great.
Big bit for me, I'd raised this whole issue, our strategic priority in terms of protecting our most vulnerable children. So we're continuing to see concerns in that area of sexual assaults against our young children. So we're still seeing an increase there, even on last year numbers. We've already seen an increase. So a lot of work going on there in that area, and my team in the MASH and the Protective Services Unit doing a tremendous job in there, and that work will continue as far as building capability and capacity in that area. We've done well, I would say, over the past 12 months, 11 individuals, specifically for sexual offenses, serious sexual offenders, appeared before the court, all found guilty. Trials, some pled guilty, some went to trials, all found guilty, and sentenced to something like 88 years total imprisonment. So it's a worrying issue for us, and no doubt it is something that needs to be tackled head on. And I made a decision 2.5 years ago at my start of my tenure, we're going to tackle this thing.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's great, and you're making progress with that.
A lot of work in that area.
And I know I saw a headline, I want to say yesterday, that it looks like there might be sentencing changes to the sexual offenders.
Yes, so we're looking at bespoke legislation. There's a team working on that, obviously in consultation with the DPP and the Attorney General's legal drafts person and the Parliament, who has been very supportive of us and that drive to look at a bespoke legislation around really around public safeguarding in terms of sexual offences and offences against children and just all of those sexual assaults, whether it's online or otherwise.
Right. This is excellent news and progress, because for a citizen like me, it was really frustrating seeing some of the, and I know you don't have anything to do with the sentencing per se, but it was it's difficult to see how some people are getting sentenced when they're molesting young kids, as opposed to somebody with a spliff getting a much longer time. Like, that was beyond my mind. I know it's two different comparisons, but there was a lot of that was happening.
I actually I have a different view, because when you actually looked at some individuals that were recently sentenced, an individual had 14 years imprisonment, another had 11 years imprisonment. They were 10 years, so they were double figures, really, double digits, so to speak. So
it's happening now.
So there's been some really robust sentencing. And the reality is that rape carries a life imprisonment. But you have to also take into consideration, and it's not for me to really say it, but obviously, having some background in that area, you have to look at precedent. What is previous sentence? What are sentencing guidelines? And so all of that has to be taken into consideration. But certainly we're that's work in progress in terms of having bespoke legislation.
Yeah. I think that's an excellent move. Okay, we got to go to our first commercial break. When we come back, I want to hear about the community meetings.
Perfect.
And then we'll go into the recruitment. Okay.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
We have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center,
specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
the 25th Annual Talent Exposition of the Arts. Hope is here, presented by the new Self-Help Foundation, Sunday, June 28th at the Hawkwheel Theatre. Proudly sponsored by Cayman Electrical Supply, Alba Elevators, Alba Services, Elite Marble and Granite, Brown's Esso, Mike's Esso, Delworth's Esso, Ministry of Caymanian Employment and Immigration, Ministry of Education and Training, A.A. Ruiz, and Dr. Steve Tomlinson. Tickets are available from the #1 shoe shop and Winner Circle Sports. Prepaid tickets $15 CI or $20 CI at the gate. Talent, exposition of the arts, poetry, dance, musical theater, and creative teachings. Hosted by Anika Jefferson and Lloyd Barker. Part proceeds from this event to benefit the Pines Retirement Home.
For 50 years, Radio Cayman has been the heartbeat of our islands, bringing you the news, the music, and those moments that matter most and more.
From the vinyl days to the digital ways.
And now, it's time to celebrate you. This Thursday and Friday, we're giving away exciting prizes on air as we continue to mark 50 years strong. Tune in, listen out for your cue, and you could be walking away with something special just for being a part of our journey. Thank you, Cayman Islands, for 50 incredible years. Radio Cayman, yesterday, today, and the next 50.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Good morning. Welcome back to The Buzz. I'm your host, Kathy Miller, and in studio with me I have from the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service, we have Commissioner Kurt Walton and Chief Inspector Wade Chase. There was a question that has come in from one of our listeners, and it says, can you please ask if they have data as to whether the burglaries are linked to previously incarcerated offenders who are released and then go to crime to get back in northward, and then go commit crime and go back to northward? Or are these new offenders? But you've explained that a little bit.
Well, we were speaking about robbery, which is a complete different offense from burglary. And I was listening to you, Kathy, so I think you were speaking more of burglary in terms of breaking into homes and going into cars. But I'm fairly confident I know who that individual or you were probably referring to. But as far as burglaries, what I will say, very rarely do we see new burglars. We do see new burglars, but there's a significant issue with recidivism in our country. Mm-hmm. Significant. I do know that there's work ongoing to look at that recidivism, but what tend to happen is you've got a cycle there of individuals who are in and out because in reality they have a drug habit problem. They have no means of, I suppose, supporting themselves once they're released from prison. And generally speaking, they come out, there's a bit of a program in place, a resettlement, and then give and take 4 to 6 weeks later, they're back down that road again. I'll give you an example. We had a young man, obviously can't call him his name because it's currently before the court, but he was released, and within the first week after being released from prison, this is just 3 months ago, maybe less, we had a spree of burglars in Georgetown, and one night we had something like 5 burglars on the weekend, all in the center of Georgetown. We did our investigation and eventually arrested this young man who would have been released just 2 weeks earlier. So that's just one example. I could speak of a dozen more, but to answer the question there is do we have data? That is for me that is a national piece of work. That's a project that needs to be done separate from the police in terms of recidivism in the Cayman Islands. Mm-hmm. That's not a police function. However, we support that. The issue there for us is it impacts policing, it impacts public safety, impacts the community, because same individual in, do their time, back out, commit the same crime, burglary, because of certain reasons, because they need to feed a drug habit back in. So the impact is obvious on policing. And there are times you're like, oh, same person over and over again. Yeah. And it's like, here we go again.
Yeah.
And the reality is that we work closely with the authorities. So we have the prison that will let us know when persons are being released. So we look at that. And so when that list of burglars are being released, we have to then do a risk assessment in terms of these individuals. And the individuals that are very likely to be back on that, I suppose, that burglar spree, that crime, life of crime again. And reality is, more than often, the same individuals we end up arresting and back. We start all over.
As you said, you think you know about the person I'm speaking of when it came to my neighborhood. So
I've been around long enough, Kathy. I spent 15 years of my life my life back in the early days in CID, and it was happening back then. Mm-hmm. It's happening today. Yeah. It's what was happening in the 90s and the early 2000s still happening today in terms of recidivism.
Okay.
So that's the reality.
The other question coming in says, would they consider facial recognition on their CCTVs?
That's a big discussion that I think is worth
exploring.
It's worth exploring. It's now happening globally, mm-hmm. across the UK, across the US, and it's something that we're exploring with other partners.
Okay.
But I think, again, that would have to be a national program. But I would certainly say, for me as a Commissioner of Police, totally are fully supportive of face recognition.
Okay. I just want to let our listeners know, if you do have your questions, you can call in. The numbers 1-800-534-8255, 949-8037, 949-6990, or you can WhatsApp us on 925-3261. Let's turn to the community meetings, because that's one of the key topics that you wanted to talk about today. What drove you to have these community meetings, and what are you hearing out of them?
So, for me, what drove it was I thought there was a need for me to go to the communities, hear their concerns, actually just have these type of town hall meetings where communities got the opportunity to give their feedback to the Commissioner of Police and what they're seeing as far as policing, the issues that matters to them most. But also, it's twofold. We're going into a new 3-year strategic policing plan. So we're in midway point at the end of our three-year strategic plan, 24, 25, 26. So for me, you cannot never have a strategic policing plan without engaging the community. So I actually brought along that strategic plan 24, 26, just to make a point that when we wrote this plan back in the end of 2023, I had similar meetings. So I'd taken the early part of November and went to the communities to get their feedback to help write into this plan. So it's a similar approach, starting from east to west, if I could put it that way, from the BRAC down to West Bay. We had 8 nights of community meetings, and generally speaking, the feedback as it is at the moment is those type of antisocial behavior in the communities, whether it's noise, either coming from music from cars or music from, I suppose, clubs and or parties. Big common theme around traffic, specifically around speeding, and another one around jake brakes. That has been certainly
What are jake brakes? Are those the big rigs with the loud?
I'm smiling because you must be the only person in Cayman Islands not complaining about jake brakes.
Well, I don't know the term, but if it's those kind of trucks that we see coming out of the port, then
well, it's those big it's
the dump trucks.
The dump trucks, as we would commonly call them, and they are basically transporting aggregate from primarily the Eastern District to all your construction sites, your development.
So I complain about them all the time.
And so the big issue there is, rather than using the normal conventional braking system, they use this this Jake brake system, which is more around compression. It slows the vehicle down much faster, much quicker than the normal braking. However, that particular, I suppose, braking system is primarily used in countries. The reason for it is it's used in countries that have hills and mountains. When these trucks are loaded with 20, 30 yards of aggregate and they're going downhill, it helps them to slow the vehicle down. Well, I'm sorry, but there are no hills, no mountains in the Cayman Islands, so there's absolutely no need to use Jake brakes. And I've taken subject matter experts' advice on this. And they said to me, Commissioner, Mr. Walton, there's absolutely no need for Jake brakes, the use of Jake brakes in the Cayman Islands. Now, what I will say is that in law, they can be prosecuted because it's an offense. What we're looking at now is the regulations that make it much easier for our officers to be issuing tickets. But we can prosecute. So we can prosecute the individual, but it means putting the person before the court. And so that work, that, you know, and as far as the enforcement of it, that's taking place. I've advised members of the public, if you do hear, you know, people or drivers abusing the Jake brakes, video it, get the truck, get the noise, and send it in to us, and we will prosecute them. The good news is there, I suppose, I try to take a public problem-solving approach. First thing I did after those meetings, and especially out of the eastern districts, that's where I'm getting the most complaints. Met with the quarter owners, and in fairness, it was a really, really good meeting. And I brought the problem to the quarter owners, so they've taken that back to the truck drivers, simply to say, stop it. And really, it's not my job is to make sure my officers are enforcing the law and give them the tools that they need to enforce the law. But we really need the community to work with us on this issue. I've told my officers, I've literally issued an instruction, no truck driver will get a brake using Jake brakes. Prosecute them and let them go to court and justify why they're using Jake brakes. That's a strict liability. So let them battle that in court. That's not our battle. Prosecute, put them before the court, and let the court figure that out. So that is the position that I take. There's no more asking people. It's prosecute, prosecute, prosecute until they get the message. And my message is hit them hard where it hurts, in the pockets. So that is the message. I'm very candid about it. It's every single home in either Bodden Town, Savannah, any home that is near to the side of the road, and those homeowners are affected by this obnoxious noise.
I like you being candid. I like a direct speaker. It's important. And I mean, you're right. What you allow will continue.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that, you know, I mentioned the speeding, I mentioned Jake brakes and a noise complaint. Other issues coming there were about, generally speaking, I suppose drivers not being careful when they're driving through some of these districts, especially the Bodden Town district, for instance, where the homes are so close to the side of the road, and drivers, motorists not really adhering to the 25 mile per hour zone. So questions whether or not there's anything we can do to slow drivers down by putting in speed bumps or traffic calming measures around approaching crosswalks. So we've got a lot about crosswalks, motorists not respecting when a pedestrian is looking, you've pressed a button and looking to cross over. And so a lot of the complaints primarily around that. In West Bay, similar issues. The conversation I had in West Bay was 2.5 years ago, or November 2023, when I had my meeting there. The conversation, we had 200 people in the hall, and the conversation was about guns, gangs, guns, gangs. That was the conversation 2.5 years ago. And so the conversation was not about that last week, Thursday. It was about exactly what I just spoke of, that those type of antisocial behavior or the issues around traffic.
Okay. All right. We're getting more questions via WhatsApp. Thank you for letting us know what you're hearing. So out of the things that you are hearing from these community meetings, I'm correct to say that you're going to be taking that feedback to put into your strategic plan for the next 2 or 3 years? But anything else right away, any actionable things right away that you can be doing aside from the prosecution with the Jake breaks?
So there's some things we've already started. As I mentioned, that feedback that we got around the Jake breaks, having met with the quarry owners, that was for me right away. Literally the next day we met with the quarry owners and delivered that message. Next thing for me, I've already been in touch with the National Roads Authority to look at and actually gave them a copy of the feedback, because during the meetings we were taking copious notes in terms of the feedback. So some of the issues around traffic and the traffic calming measures, whether it's a crosswalk, already provided that feedback to our National Roads Authority colleagues. In fact, had a meeting just on Tuesday about this very issue with the National Road Safety Committee and colleagues from the National Roads Authority and the DVDL. So we've already had a quick, a 45-minute meeting to discuss some of these issues and what we can do from a road engineering perspective.
Okay.
Yeah. But generally speaking, for me, it is coming back for me for the strategic plan is how do I go about addressing all of the community concerns within the strategic plan. So some of the issues there are we're not seeing enough community officers in our districts. So I know within our plan, and Mr. Chase will speak about that shortly in terms of recruitment. So for me to address that from a policing perspective, we're going down a recruitment drive to build that area, community policing, to then address those concerns of what is not being seen in the communities in terms of visible policing. Traffic, those concerns then in terms of we need more officers out there in traffic enforcing the law. Again, that recruitment will help us then increase our levels in traffic and community policing. So I see my role then as being able to, from these meetings, what is it I can do as police commissioner in my capacity then to then go to give the team the support they need, enable them to really go down this path to build these two areas and other areas. I've got 17 departments right now that are have some significant gaps in, but the three main areas for me right now is my uniform front line, the shifts, my community policing, and my traffic unit. There's a whole lot of specialist areas that requires gaps filling. So my CIBFI, Cayman Islands Bureau of Financial Investigations, all of the issues around illicit finance, anti-money laundering, all of that, those are big topical areas that the country, as you know, we're going into FATF inspection in 2027, and that's a big topical discussion at the moment. Police play a huge role in terms of our investigative capability and building capacity in countering money laundering and illicit finance. So that's another big area. But the three primary areas for me right now is those three uniform frontline areas.
Okay, excellent. You've given a lot of great information so far this morning. Thank you so much. I wish we were keeping you longer than 9 a.m. because, man, we can keep going. I don't want to limit you. And I know that we got to talk about the recruitment as well, but I want to get through a couple of these WhatsApp questions that have come to you, Commissioner. One saying, good morning, Commissioner Walton. Another concern is the modified vehicles that have become a nuisance. When they start these vehicles in the morning, they make these loud noises and wake us up out of sleep. Can something be done out of this? I completely understand where these people are coming. Why does your car have to be so loud?
So I think that will be another issue that one of those issues, were raised during the meetings in terms, again, it goes back to that earlier discussion about noise. So that's one of those noise complaints coming to us. The reality is that if it's not permissible under the traffic legislation, as what's required in terms of you muffle a sound, we can still prosecute. Their big issue there is whether or not it's a private nuisance or a public nuisance. It sounds like there's a big public nuisance there that's impacting impacting on the public. What I can say, noise in general, we're looking at that in a separate piece of legislation under the Environmental Act. Now, that's not me driving that, but I certainly support it. Some of the issues that we see from a policing perspective, because we deal with about 80 to 100 noise complaints monthly. But the Environmental Act will help us then address some of the noise level, and that's noise across the board, whether it's noise emitting from cars in the sense of music, whether it's noise from vehicles, or whether it's noise in general from, premises with music.
Okay, now I'm definitely one of those music in the car offenders with the music being so loud, but that's how I enjoy my music. I do try to turn it down in my neighborhood, though, so I am being somewhat, recognizing my neighbors when I'm rolling in my neighborhood. Okay, so some other caller or listener said, "Good morning, so grateful for the stopping of Jake breaks. I live near a busy bypass roundabout, and it's constantly disturbing the peace. Thank you. Are there calming measures in place for entering the east-west arterial from the Prospect side? Cars and bikes take off down the road and the noise pollution is horrendous." That will be the last question I'm going to ask, and then we're going to turn to the recruitment.
So I gather this is from entering onto the east-west arterial from the Hearst Road?
It doesn't say. They're coming from, I think I know who this person is, so I'm going to assume they're coming from down like McRoss, that area.
Okay.
So you're coming up out of Marina Drive area, basically.
So what I would suggest there is if they send you the location, we can have our team look at it, and then we would feed that back into National Roads Authority if we're getting complaints from that area. So the way it's done is if we have generally the National Roads Authority look at data, either from the police or their own data. So for us, it will be about reports or what some of the common complaints. We'll say we're having issues in this area in terms of speeding, and could you look at traffic calming measures? Obviously, it has to be done safely because you don't want to create an unsafe situation for motorists. But once we have the location, I can have the officers have a look at it.
How do they send the location? Who are they sending it to?
Sorry?
Who particularly are they sending?
Well, so they can either go on our website, and we have a tip line there.
Okay.
So they can either send it via that route, or if they want, simply just send me an email. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But generally speaking, if you go onto our website, we have a section there for tips.
For tips. Okay. Now, we got about 5 minutes, and we haven't hit recruitment. So I know we're going to hit recruitment. I feel a little bit bad for Inspector Chase here. So, but thank you. I think we've gotten through so much information here. But as we turn to recruitment now, last year, Commissioner, you told Finance Committee that the RCIPS was down to 373 officers, the lowest in 17 years. After losing 56 staff in a single year, you said officers were overworked, probably overwhelmed, I have no doubt. And I've mentioned to you that, I'd like to see more police presence, but we know that is happening. There has been approval for that. So in saying this, we're looking at recruitment. There's been a huge drive in this year. I know that there's been drives in every year. You do a police drive, and we talk about it a lot. So what is this recruitment looking like right now?
Morning again.
This is you now, yes. Good morning.
All right. That's fine. I'm back again later on today. We're in the application stage at this stage, and we're looking for young Caymanian police constables. And the application process closes on the 14th of June. So you need to get your application in as soon as possible. This recruitment started on the 1st of May, and which is pretty much about a month and a half in all. We're looking for about 25 persons in all in order to start this recruitment program.
Okay.
Can I just add, because that is for Class 2 of 2026. Yeah. So we've already started, and we're almost done with Class 1 of 2026. So we've got 19 recruits, local recruits currently in training. Mm-hmm. So all goes as planned. They should be graduating, I think, on the 23rd of July.
Yeah, 23rd of July.
So the plan is for us to do 2 classes per year. So the recruitment drive now is for Class 2 of 2026, which we are hopeful to start in September.
Okay. Okay, and what's your numbers looking like so far from applications coming in?
Well, our applications are well over 300 at this point in time. Yeah. So we won't really be looking at our full numbers until after the 14th. That's when we actually start the paper sifting process. And we have a look at the requirements and those who meet the requirements that we've set.
Now, there was a special emphasis on this, was it special constables?
Oh, special constables. That would be a separate recruitment drive. There are two recruitments that we're going on for special constables. There's one that for Grand Cayman, and that one is now closed, and we're going through the interview process with that now. And then the other one is with the Sister Islands, which that opened on Monday, and that closes on the 21st of June. So the two separate ones for the various islands. The other one is for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, and we will be doing a second recruitment drive over there for the next 2 weeks.
Is there a different set of requirements to be a special constable?
Well, special constable is a part-time job, basically. So the requirements for that would be the same in terms of a police officer, and they have the same powers as a police officer, but it's voluntary, and they do a certain amount of numbers every month, and they have very similar training, but they would not be in class for 5.5 months. Obviously, a lot more bespoke training for the roles that they will be taking on a part-time basis.
Okay.
Can I just say, because that special constabulary application or drive for the BRAC and Little Cayman came out as a direct feedback from the community as to why are we not doing a separate recruitment for special constables in the BRAC and Little Cayman. Okay. So within a week, we've gone out. Yeah. So that. So you asked me the question earlier, what are some of the quick wins? So that's one of those as another example. So that's another example. So that came directly from those meetings in the BRAC, the feedback that I got.
Okay, excellent. We have hit the 9 a.m. news. So I'm going to give you a minute. I'm so sorry. If you want to wrap up, let us know anything, any key information.
That's fine. Make sure that you get your applications in. You know, we're looking for young, interested individuals that are community-minded. Get your applications in. If you have any questions, feel free to call the Training Development Unit or send us an email at tdu@rcips.ky, and I'll leave it there for now. But I'll visit our website and you get any information you need.
Okay, excellent. Look, Commissioner, we need you on more than once a year, it seems. Yeah, you've given a lot of great information. It was a great segment with the both of you. Although Inspector Chase, I'm sorry we couldn't get a lot of info from you this morning. But it was key. It was good to have you on. Thank you so much for joining.
Yeah. Thank you, Kathy.
No problem. Yeah. I'm here ready whenever you are. So maybe I'll do the outreach a little bit more to get you back on. Okay, we're going to go to the 9 a.m. headline news, and then I'll be back in just a couple minutes for our next segment.
Calling Caymanians. The Royal Cayman Islands Police Service is hiring local recruits. Are you interested in serving your community on the front line? Apply now to join our ranks in service to the Cayman Islands. As a police officer, you make a difference. Be a part of a team and experience a job where no two shifts are the same. The deadline for applications is Sunday, June 14th at midnight. Visit rcips.ky to apply now and start your journey with the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
The 25th Annual Talent Exposition of the Arts, Hope is Here. Presented by the New Self-Help Foundation, Sunday, June 28th at the Hawkwheel Theatre. Awesome performances by Rico Rolando, Erica Asai, actress Caitlin Tyson, Daquan Smith, UCCI Dance Company, Radiance Dance Studio, Centerpoint Limited, John Gray Kitchen Band, and Starlight Elite Strings, Michelle T, and more. Tickets cost $15 CI prepaid or $20 at the gate, and available from the #1 shoe shop and Winner's Circle Sports. Talent Exposition of the Arts, Hope, hosted by Anika Jefferson and Lloyd Parker. June 28th at the Hawkwheel Theater. Gates open at 5 p.m. Show starts at 6 p.m. Part proceeds from this event to benefit the Pines Retirement Home.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
The National Workforce Development Committee is inviting employers across the Cayman Islands to participate in the Caymanian Employment Survey, which is designed to better understand employers' experiences in hiring, developing, and retaining Caymanian talent. The survey will be available at publicconsultation.gov.ky from June 10th through June 24th. In international news, the U.S. confirms it has carried out a strike on a third ship near Oman. The U.S. Central Command says the Guinea-Bissau flagged vessel Jalvir, quote, violated the blockade by attempting to transport Iranian oil through the Gulf of Oman. All 20 Indian sailors aboard the vessel are said to be safe. It follows U.S. attacks on 2 other ships. 3 Indian sailors were killed in a strike on Palau-flagged Setabello on Wednesday, while another Palau-flagged vessel, the Marivex, was disabled on Monday. The U.S. hit military surveillance and radar sites in southern Iran. Tehran responded with a round of strikes on U.S. military sites in the region, including bases in Bahrain and Kuwait. And 12 police officers have been injured and 16 people arrested in the second night of rioting in Northern Ireland, prompted by a serious knife attack in Belfast. The Assistant Chief Constable said in a message, behind those carrying out the violence, quote, we will bring you to justice. The UK Northern Ireland Secretary says there's a sense of fear, and it has, quote, spread amongst ethnic minority people after the nights of violence. The trade union Unison says a nurse with a, quote, different skin color was chased into the Ulster hospital by 4 masked men. On Wednesday, a 30-year-old originally from Sudan appeared in court charged with attempted murder over a knife attack that caused serious injuries to the victim. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Your Cayman Islands Health Services Authority has been the national healthcare provider of the Cayman Islands for many generations. We have elevated our level of care to ensure you, our patients, have the best possible experience. We offer better access to care close to home with the most locations on all 3 islands, delivering a full range of primary, secondary, tertiary, and emergency care. HSA is a JCI accredited organization, and we are committed to caring for you.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Good morning and welcome back to The Buzz. We're in the final stretch of the show and going to be talking about everything that we love, which is food. We all love food. Who doesn't love food? I can't wait to have my breakfast after this discussion because, trust me, I'm already hungry and this is going to make me even hungrier. So we're talking food, fitness, and overall health. And joining me this morning are 2 dynamic entrepreneurs. One that we all better know because he has represented the Cayman Islands as a boxer numerous times and opened up the Performance Lab. And that is Mr. Kendall Ebanks. And joining him as well is Jace Anderson. Both of them are owners of Plated, which is a company focused on food for fitness, performance, and healthy living. Later on in the conversation, if we got time, we're gonna go into their second venture, which is the Performance Lab, and that focuses on exercise training and building a healthier Cayman. So, grab your protein powder shakes, of course. Grab your tea. Grab your coffee if you're like me on your coffee number 3, whatever it is, because this is what we're going to be talking about right now. Listen, the gentlemen have coffee here this morning as well, so we know what's up. So, good morning, guys. How are you doing? Welcome to the Buzz.
Thank you for having us.
No problem. Good to have you.
Doing great this morning, doing great.
Kendall, I'm going to give you your flowers live here on air.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You have done really great in your life. I know from, little troubled times to what you've turned that into, what you've been able to frame that and say, no, this is what I'm going to do with these feelings, everything else, turn that into this pursuit, which was boxing. And then you turned it into the pursuit with the Performance Lab, and now with Plated.
Yes, thank you very much, and I appreciate that.
No problem.
A lot of struggles, lessons to learn from, and here we are today.
Yeah. What do you think about yourself when you're like on the outside kind of looking in and just being like, wow, look at what I've been able to accomplish in the past decade or so?
To be honest, I try to use the audience to always remind me that, what you've accomplished it's amazing, because I tend to just be lost in the work a lot and just really dialed in and really focused, and sometimes I don't take the time to really appreciate the win and enjoy it. So being able to hear it from the outside, I get to slow down for a second and really embrace the win.
All right, Kendall, you're like me a little bit. You have your bedroom voice on this morning, but
okay.
I need you to move. Just bring the mic a little closer.
All right.
A little closer to you.
I was just about to say that the man doesn't stop. He keeps going. He doesn't stop.
Yes, there you go. We can hear you a little
All
bit
right,
better
much
now.
better. Well, what I was saying was the audience allows me to enjoy the win. Sometimes I'm so dialed in, I just get lost in the work and I just keep going and keep going and keep going. But to also hear it from the outside allows me to slow down, appreciate the win, and just just have gratitude for all the work that's been put in, and be able to see the payoffs for it.
Okay, now how did Plated come around?
Let you take that one, Jay.
Well, we realize that there is just a need for healthy food that's not boring. A lot of people, when they think about meals that are healthy, they think chicken breast, broccoli,
and
right?
rice.
And rice.
Yes.
So what we've done, we've created Plated to kind of feed that, no pun intended, feed that need for healthy meals that are also fun, delicious, and convenient.
Okay, excellent. Now, how would you describe the business?
Well, now describing the business, Plated is a meal prep business versus it's not a restaurant, right? So we take care of those that want to eat healthier, those that want to enjoy their food and not go through the avenue of, I want to be healthy in my life. I want to eat better, but it's boring. I can't maintain it. It sucks. We want to really interrupt that whole pattern for them and show them that, hey, you know what? We can get your healthy food to you. It's actually going to taste delicious, and you can continue eating it. We are a meal prep restaurant that will take care of you when you want to eat healthy, when you want to feel better, when you don't want to eat junk.
Now, I told you at the beginning I haven't been yet, and it's driving me crazy because when I see you on Instagram or see the food on Instagram, I'm like, oh, Kathy, this is where you got to go.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, I forget to eat at certain times, and it's like it could be really late, and I'm like, Then you want to eat the world because you're just so hungry.
Exactly.
Then I don't want to leave Georgetown and figure out where I'm going to eat that's at least healthy and I'm going to get the protein and the right little amount of veggies, and so. Which is why I'm glad you're on the show, because now it's really going to be planted in my head about Plated. But I guess in saying that, when you said that you're not a restaurant, you're a meal prep business, it's not a dine-in restaurant at all.
No.
But can I go to Plated, like randomly, and just order?
So we have two separate parts of Plated.
Okay.
So we have the walk-in part where you can order on bento, or you can order on the phone and walk in and pick up.
Okay.
And then we have the executive club, which is our meal prep side. The meal prep side is more curated. So we send you over intake forms. We collect information as far from allergies, dietary preferences, dietary needs, delivery address, and then we prepare your meals accordingly, and then we deliver it to you straight to your desk or your home, so you don't have to leave work.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the executive club is really the cool part about it. You know, it's almost like a mystery menu, because the menu will come out every Saturday or Sunday for the upcoming week, and you don't actually know what's coming yet. But because your intake form was created, you're all safe, because your food is built towards your intake form. So we know your allergies, we know your likes, your dislikes, then it pops up right to your office door.
Right. So it's not like you're going to be sending me tofu, for example.
No.
I don't want tofu.
No.
All right. It's going to be my likes, my preferences.
Correct. Correct.
Okay, excellent. How did you guys find each other? How did this business partnership come about?
Oh, well, a blast in the past. When Bay Market was a thing in Cayman Bay, when they had their standalone store, I used to work there, and he was in there the whole time. So I'm from a customer service background. And then again, we reconnected when there was Bluestone in town. And then from there, we would always just bounce ideas off each other, because we're both like in that mindset where we want to do something, build something, and grow something great. And then the opportunity came, and then, we just, ran with it. And a thing with this guy is fearless. Like, I'm more cautious. So when I said to him, like, he's like, let's go. Like, no breaks. And it's been like that ever since.
You got to be fearless to be in a ring and taking jabs and punches to the face and whatnot.
guess.
Not that many people hit you in the face, right? We're saying.
True story.
Yeah, you got to be fearless for that. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think in life, generally you just have to be fearless. You have to go after whatever it is that you want. Yeah. And I have the saying and the belief that you only fail when you don't try.
Oh, very, very true. You miss 100% of the shots that you do not take.
Exactly.
Yes, we're sports lovers, so we're going to use our sports analogies here for sure. Yes. Okay, so when we're looking at the market and for the idea of Plated to come around, did you see a gap in the market that you said this is where we can fit, and this is what maybe the competitors that are out there aren't hitting?
Yeah, totally. You gave a good example with yourself earlier. You're busy. You're on air, you're constantly working. Sometimes you forget about food, and then you just end up grabbing the closest thing. You got to think about that in the avenue of how many other busy professionals are there out there. I'm running 2 businesses. Jace is running a business. He has kids to deal with. I have kids to deal with. We all as humans are super busy.
Especially in Cayman.
Yeah. So what we did from there was say, you know what? We understand what it feels like to be this busy and miss food and go to the most convenient thing. You stop to the gas station, you grab one of the pieces out of the thing or something, or you pull through Burger King. This is the market that really needs this, because they're hardworking professionals. They don't have a lot of time, or they got stresses of life, work, family, etc. This is what needs to be taken care of so we can perform at our best.
Okay.
100%.
The core philosophy behind Plated. What's the main message behind Plated's approach to food and wellness?
I like it.
Yeah, convenience, delicious meals that aren't typical, and macro-counted meals, simple food delivered straight to your desk or your home.
And one of the major key points I like to throw in there that a lot of people tend to have fear when it comes to eating healthy. They get this misconception, and I call it the bodybuilder misconception, where they think it's just, I just got to eat chicken, broccoli, and rice, and it's going to be boring. There's no way in the world I can do this. So we make sure that you understand that you can eat healthy food. It will be delicious for you, and you can sustain that and enjoy that. So you don't have to eat chicken, broccoli, rice, no seasoning.
Yes.
Right, because it's a misconception, so we just fixed that.
Which I couldn't live on that. I'll tell you that right now. I'll throw some salmon in for me. But that's why we have our preference list, the
Exactly.
intake form, but we can put our preferences and whatnot, right?
Correct. And I couldn't live on that either.
Yeah.
And I own a gym.
Yeah,
I live in a gym.
and you're very disciplined. So I'm not at all. So imagine that.
Exactly.
We've got to go to a quick commercial break right now. And when we come back, we will continue our conversation with Plated.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
I'm Michael Webster.
And I'm Denise Brown of Cayman Insurance Center.
Family is not the most important thing, it's everything.
We have worked with the community and their families on protecting themselves for the future.
Whether it's providing top-rated life insurance
or protecting your family's household investment.
From our family to yours, we understand and we care.
I'm Denise Brown. Call me at 814-7229.
And I'm Michael Webster at 925-5433.
We are Cayman Insurance Center.
Specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services at an affordable rate. We are Michael and
Denise at Cayman Insurance Center.
Call today.
The world's game is here. FIFA World Cup 2026 is now, and Futbolista World has you covered. Literally. Get your authentic country jerseys, flags, and memorabilia, and your special Watching Live from the Cayman Islands World Cup jersey for just $55. Because it's more than a jersey. It's your front row seat to the World Cup. Ready to play? Ready to win. Stop by Futbolista World, located next to Baytown Plaza opposite the Wharf Restaurant, or shop online at futbolistaworld.com. Planning an office watch party? Futbolista World can deliver your colors straight to your office. Visit futbolistaworld.com or call 916-3668. Futbolista World. All authentic. All World Cup.
Radio Cayman News.
Regular gas fell 51 cents this past week.
This year's honour recipients embody so many of the qualities that make our community special.
Lawmakers are preparing to open a new year of parliamentary business.
There were more than 2,200 local jobs advertised in May.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
7 days a week.
The Buzz with your host, Kathy Miller.
Now, I want to ask about, I guess, the biggest obstacles to eating healthy, like the real obstacles. And as a fitness trainer, Kendall, I know you hear this all the time. And as somebody who's very disciplined, I know you probably don't take a lot of our excuses. So, yes, we're busy. I don't have children, but a lot of people have children. And let's say they're part of service or community clubs. And then if you do have children, it's helping the children with school stuff after work. And for me, I'm like, when do people even get a time, an hour to themselves in a day, unless you wake up at 4 a.m. or something to have it, right? Mm-hmm. But then if you live in the further districts, it's a little, you're waking up to 4 a.m. so you can get to work on time, unfortunately, right now. So really, when it comes to a healthy lifestyle, what are the biggest obstacles that people are facing, or really the biggest lies people are telling themselves?
Well, I would say one of the major ones that we do come across is I don't have time. I don't have time. And I always say, we're humans, we're made to move, right? So if you can at least put in 20 minutes per day, every day, that works. Or even an easier way to look at it is what I say is we have 7 days in a week. I don't care how much businesses you have, how much kids you have, how much stress you have. You can train 3 times a week for the rest of your life. You have 24 hours in a day. You only need to train 30 to 45 minutes of that 3 days a week. It's very doable. And again, if you don't want to do that, keep it at the minimum of 20 minutes per day.
Okay. That's good advice right there, minimum of 20 minutes per day.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
And the beauty with Plated is we give you back some of that time as well with cooking, right? So you don't have to grocery shop. You don't have to cook meals, spend time cook meals. And it works out cheaper because when you think about how much time you spend in the grocery store and how much money you spend shopping monthly, Plated meal prep works out better in terms of pricing. You end up saving.
Okay.
And just to jump back on that point, right? A lot of times you have to think about fitness more so as a lifestyle versus, hey, I'm going in. Well, I mean, if you go into competition, that's much different.
Yeah.
But it's a lifestyle. We want to have longevity in our lives. We want to feel healthy. We want to be able to get up out of the bed at 60, 70, 80 years old and feel strong, play with the kids, play with the grandkids, still run. I'm super competitive. I want to be at 80 years old doing whatever I want to do.
Yep.
If I make it there. So I always say folks have to look at fitness as a lifestyle. That's what I said. 7 days in a week, you can get in 3 of those days training and only 45 minutes if you want to take it there. But then again, you have that minimum of 20 if you also want to use that.
I think when you really examine your time and how you're using your time in your day, which scares me when I do examine my time, because I'm like, oh God, what am I doing? Sometimes you can see where you're wasting your time. You can see where pockets of time are going that are really not beneficial to you at 100%. All.
Especially in the social media area, you spend 20 or 30 minutes just scrolling.
Yeah, exactly, which is why I look at myself sometimes. I'm like, what are you doing? It's not 20, 30 minutes with me. It's a lot longer. So I get it, yeah.
I'll shift a slight bit off topic here, but my mentor used to make me do something where every 20 minutes he would make me write down what I'm doing at that time. And he would do that over a week. And then we would then review it at the end of the week, and he would show me all of the time slots that I had that I just completely wasted just from that. Every 20 minutes, write down what it is that you were doing at that time.
And were you able to keep up with that? Like actually noting every 20 minutes what you were doing?
For the most part, yes.
That's
for the most part, yes. But the feedback, the data shows like how much time you actually waste.
And that was enough of an epiphany for yourself to be like, okay, I got to make a make a bit of a change here.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay, to go back to Plated now, when it comes to, I know you have customers. You've been open since when have you been open?
We opened 2024.
Okay, 2024.
So we're almost on the 2-year mark.
I feel really bad. I really got to get there right away. Okay, since 2024. This is how bad my mind is sometimes. What has been the success stories that have come out from executive club members and just, your regular ordinary people that are coming in to just order food?
Yeah, I mean, most recently we have a client who is also a student at SMU, and with just 2 weeks on our meal prep, she's down 4 pounds.
Oh, excellent.
We have another client who she's also transitioned into the gym. Michaela, I don't know if she wants me to put her business out there.
We just did Michaela. It's all good. It's all good.
So, yeah, she's down 23 pounds, and she's been with us 3 months.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and transitioned into the gym as well. So her muscle gain has also went up because we do a body comp. Mm-hmm. So we get to see where your muscle mass is, your body fat percentage, and your overall weight. So she's done great. And just busy moms, like new moms who just enjoy the convenience of having their meals brought to them, dealing with a newborn and just not knowing what to eat. And it really helps. It really makes a difference. And we're so happy we could be part of that journey for them and for our clients, all our clients.
That's an interesting part of your target audience there. I would never have thought like new moms, for example. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they barely have time to take a shower.
Yeah.
From what I understand. So never mind preparing a meal. You forget to eat and all the rest. That's a really great target audience to hit, actually.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so I know we're gonna talk a little bit about the Performance Lab, but when it comes to your pricing structure, can you tell me what your pricing structure is with Plated?
So it starts off if you're doing like just one meal weekly, and then the longer you commit, the cheaper the meals become. So at our maximum, if you're doing a month or 4 weeks, which works out to 40 meals, you will pay $15.50 per meal.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it gives you an incentive to commit because that's where you really see the changes, right? It's not like you do it for a week or 2 weeks and then you're going to magically lose like 5 pounds, right? So the commitment is where you really see the progress.
Is there a minimum sign up if you were to be an executive club member?
No. So we do weekly. We have clients that sign up weekly for just lunch.
Okay.
And we have clients who sign up 4 weeks for 2 meals, 3 meals. We have 2 meals, 3 meals plus snack. So it really depends on what you're able to do. So we have a price range for everyone.
Okay.
Yeah. So if we're referring to a limit, that would be the week. So,
okay.
Yeah, so it would be the week. But yeah, again, during
like
that
a minimum
the minimum would be a week, yes.
All right.
And just to recap on what Jay said, in regards to the longer time, the commitment is where the results really and truly happen. Plus the price gets better. And just a few of those testimonials, they have come off the back of folks that have signed up for the month. And then they continue onwards after that because the results have been so good for them.
Okay, excellent. I love it. And I love the fact that you don't have to sign up to kind of test the food. You can always just order through Bento or show up and just kind of order to go per se.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that as well.
Yeah, and we really try to keep it as custom as possible. You know, you can even take the WhatsApp and message us directly. Let us know when you're on the way. We'll bill your meal for you. And when you get there, the meal is pretty much ready.
Fresh, ready to go.
And you're good to go.
We're very communicative. I mean, almost all my clients have me on WhatsApp. They'll message me like 12 o'clock in the night, like, listen, I don't want lunch tomorrow. Can I get something else? And I'll be like, okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really flexible. Yeah. That's really nice.
We're very flexible.
That's important too, because there are some businesses where there's one in particular, it's a yoga place. Can you guys just answer your phone, please? Do not make it go straight to voicemail. Because for somebody like me, I need to talk to you.
Yeah.
If I can't call a business and talk to somebody working there, I'm not going to your business. Yeah. And when I know I can talk to you and we can establish some sort of relationship, man, I'm a Taurus, but that loyalty is absolutely there.
It makes a difference because communication is a basis of human connection, right? So when you're able to communicate with the people that you're also in business with, it makes things easier. So it's more of a collaboration rather than, we just take your money and bring food to you.
Right. Yeah, no, because it's that relationship that you're building that's going to hold people.
Correct.
That's one of the most important parts. Okay. We only got 2 minutes left, so I want to be like, if there's anything you want people to know about Plated, but we haven't spoke about where you're located or contact details or where is there a website, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So we're actually on Mary Street, Georgetown. Right across from the work building, there's Baby Express. You pull in directly behind Baby Express, and that is where we are. You will see the Performance Lab. We're located on the left side of the Performance Lab.
Okay, so right adjacent to your other business there.
Yeah, correct. Okay. So it's very easy to get to. Right here, it's square in the center of town.
And how do people get in touch?
You can reach us on email, contact@plated.ky. Or you can reach us on Instagram as well. That's where we do most of our business, on Instagram, at plated.ky. And then you can give us a call at 321-8433 or
you go directly to the Plated and 327-9727.
Okay, excellent. Any final message you want to leave people with when it comes to Plated? We don't have time to talk about the Performance Lab this morning.
Yeah, perform that easy transition. But yeah, in regards to Plated, what I want to leave everyone with is, remember, food does not have to be boring. Food can be enjoyable. It can be tasty. You do not have to be stuck with non-seasoned food, chicken, broccoli, rice. We want to make it delicious. We want to make it sustainable. We want to make sure that you can enjoy eating healthy and not struggle to do it.
All right, Kendall, I got a question, because as a trainer, and I guess, are you certified with nutrition or anything like that as well? I have no idea.
Am I certified? No, not with nutrition.
Okay.
No.
Now, I remember going to one trainer, and it was a coach, actually, and a large part of it was just about getting the food on track. And he goes, I think a lot of your problem is the sauces, which we know add to our food for the flavor and whatnot, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm curious, if you're looking for a little bit more flavor in your food, is hot sauce one of those sauces that you can get away with? Because I heard there's really no calories when it comes to hot sauce.
Yeah, definitely hot sauce is one of those that you can get away with, but it very much really depends on what hot sauce you're using, right? Because, let's just use a Caesar salad real quick. It's a salad, but when you then pack in that Caesar dressing, a lot of people tend to turn that salad into a burger. So yes, the sauces can really, really throw you off, but there's a lot of hot sauces that are very, very low calorie that will definitely do the right job for you.
Right. Yeah, I know Caesar dressing is really high density calorie per se. But I'd heard hot sauce is very, very low or zero. So I'm like, okay.
Correct.
So if you're looking for a little flavor, that might be. I mean, you're not going to put that on a Caesar salad.
He would. He has a hot sauce.
I was going to say, unless you like me.
No way you would.
I love hot sauce.
That's wild.
I love hot sauce.
Thank you, Jace and Kendall, for joining me this morning on The
so
Buzz and letting us know a little bit about Plated, and for putting it in my mind, because now I know who I got to contact and that you deliver as well.
Yeah.
So that's very, very handy, especially for me when I don't want to go out in the rain.
Yeah,
so,
we
make somebody else go out there.
We'll be in the rain delivering your food.
Thank you so much. So kind. All right. Thanks for joining me on The Buzz this morning. It's been good to have you, and best of luck with Plated and the Performance Lab. It's been a minute that you've had it, so I can't wait to see you grow more in entrepreneurship.
Yes. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Great.
Everybody else out there, have a fabulous Friday Eve. As I like to call it, there's a lot happening this weekend. And don't forget Nixon 5, all right? Oh, World Cup starts today. Let's go Croatia and Canada and Curacao and maybe Brazil. Okay, bye.
The Buzz is proudly sponsored by Cayman Insurance Center, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. And Kirk Market. Experience a world of choice.
Shaken yet standing firm. This is Radio Cayman